Good evening, class, and welcome to your virtual course, Statistics. My name is Dr. Arepo. I have sent you several emails already, and I hope you all have had a chance to visit your Canvas. As you log in, this is the homepage. So I'm hoping that I've set up the homepage that as soon as you see, you know exactly what to do. In the homepage, notice number one, watch the welcome message. I have a welcome message for you here. I hope you have watched it. It's pretty short.
Hello everyone, this is Dr. Araipu. I would like to welcome you to your online course.
It basically welcomes you to the course. As I'm doing it here, I am happy to have you in the course. And I'm sure if you follow the setup and the schedule, you will do great. And you will be more than ready to move on to the next course. Number two, read class philosophy. This class is a community, and therefore we all have the same objective: to learn. Online students often feel isolated, but it is vitally important to know you are not in this alone. So the bottom line is, what I'm saying is that I'm hoping we treat this as a classroom that we get together and we are here to help one another. So that's the class philosophy. Number three, read posted announcements. I had sent an email regarding what you need to do to get started and be exempt from the orientation. You can click on the announcement on the left navigation bar or this one. It makes no difference. It takes you there. And what you see a lot of announcements that are not ready yet, but what you see, if I put this in student view, the announcements, you had a recorded orientation. Well, you're already here. There's a welcome and orientation. Again, you're already here. You also had this exemption to orientation. This is for the case of students who have not been able to show up, and they followed the steps and they have already started with the course. Going back to the home page, number 4, and under number 4 you see a bunch of steps. I'm going to quickly go over them. The first one says the syllabus. It's a good practice to check the syllabus. Again, you could click on this or the syllabus on the navigation bar. In either way is fine. So when you do that, it'll take you here. Now, I understand that the syllabi are getting longer and longer. And I understand students are not interested in reading all of them, and I don't blame you, to be honest with you. That's why when you get there, I have different topics. So even if you don't want to read the whole thing, you can click on something like, for example, calendar, or go back and forth. What I'm going to do, I'm going to spend a couple of minutes going over the whole thing pretty fast, but it is always available to you. You don't have to print this. You can go back anytime you want, or you can click on a specific topic and watch that. So quickly, we are looking at this elementary statistics with the student learning outcome and course objective. In short, we will cover probability distributions, test of hypothesis, analysis of variance, so on and so forth. The text. The text is free. It's through OpenStax. And I will go over that for you in case if you click on that here, it'll take you to the text and the outline, which is pretty much a reference text, because the order by which we do the work may be slightly different than what you see over there. If you follow my PowerPoints and everything else that I put in MOM, my open math, I'm going to refer to it as MOM from now on. You may not even need to look at what's in the text. In any event, the online assignments will be done through MOM, my open math. My open math short, we call it MOM, which is absolutely free for all students. Orientation, you're here. Here's the exam schedule. And I want you to pay attention to the following that I have here, and that is follow Canvas/MOM timeline for each module. So your assignments and what you need to do, all you have to do in Canvas and in MOM specifically, you can follow the instruction as to what you need to do. Again, I will show you in a moment. For now, the very first exam is coming up in a few weeks. So every 3 to 4 weeks, we have an exam. The first exam coming up in a few weeks. Now, notice what I have here. There is a review via Zoom from 9 to 11 on that day. Normally, students take the exam immediately after from 11 to 1. However, what I've made it as my plan is to make myself available from 11 to 1 in case anybody has a question. You don't have to take the exam from 11 to 1. You can take it anytime you want that day, as long as it's done before the expiration date. So I want to make sure everybody reads this note. It is extremely important. Attending review session is highly recommended to succeed in this course. However, all review sessions are recorded and become available under the Zoom recording shortly. They will also be posted on the recorded practice test tab in Canvas. I will be available during the designated exam time to answer any questions. However, students can take the exam later the same day after studying for some time. Exam expires at 11:59 p.m. You may take it anytime, but no later than 8 p.m. to be on the safe side. I want to make sure everybody understands what we're talking about. On the day of the exam, from 9 to 11, I will have the review, and as soon as the review is done, the recording is done, I'll have it posted. It takes a few hours for me to do that, but under the Zoom recording, it becomes available to you a little bit faster. From 11 to 1 o'clock, I'm available in case you have a question. And you can take the exam anytime on that day. I highly recommend you study for a few hours and take it not too late. Meeting important dates, calculators and formula sheets. You can use any calculator, including a graphing calculator for the exam. The formula sheet is available. I'll show you where to find it in Canvas during the exam. That's the only thing you can use. You cannot use PowerPoints or notes, but you can use your formula sheets. Tech support for the publisher, my open math, as well as the tech support for Canvas support and campus tech support. All of them are here. So depending upon what you need, you can contact the tech support for campus, for Canvas, or for MOM. PyShop is the math tutoring center. It is free. It's available to all. And I highly recommend you check their website also. It's free. You have to register in a 1-unit course. And for fall 2021, this is the Zoom link. You get there, and all you have to do, talk to the tutors. They will give you a code, so you get free tutoring through PyShop. Grading policy, we have 4 exams. We have homework, and we have a final. The online homework, 200 points. Review participation discussion board, 100 points. What is it? I'll go over that in a moment. 4 tests, each one is 100 points. And the final, which is comprehensive, 300 points, total of 1,000 points. What I want to add here, class, although the final is comprehensive, it's pretty simple. All you have to do is study the previous exams plus the new module, module 5. The grading curve is as follows. 90% or higher, that means 900 points or more, gives you an A. 80% or higher, that means 800 points or more, gives you a B, so on and so forth. There is no makeup policy. If something comes up, you let me know in advance. I'll see what I can do for you, as long as the paper you have is proper and is acceptable by campus. Also, your lowest grade before the final may be replaced by the final exam score if the following is true. Number one, your grade for the final must be good. How good? That means it must be 80% or higher. Homework and discussion board are both at 90% or higher, and this action will result in a higher letter grade. In other words, the worst exam grade before the final can be replaced with the final exam as long as your letter grade changes, and it has to be larger than, better than 80%, and your homework and board participation must be good. And of course, if you miss an exam, you get 0 point. The late policy, I don't accept the late policy for exams or for the discussion forum. For online assignments, for the homework, there is a 10% deduction. You have only a few days to use a late path with a 10% deduction, because it really defeats the purpose of doing something way too late. You have only a few days to do that. That also will be discussed. Then we have other things here. One of the most important things, in my opinion, is understanding how much time you have to put in. And I put this website from CSULB, Cal State University Long, which is study 36, which says you have to spend about 3 times the number of units of hour per week. So if you have this course as a 4-unit course, you need to spend 12 hours to really master. Some might say it's 1 to 2, you have to spend 2 hours. But to be on the safe side, honestly, I believe 3 will do the job or so. Dropping policy, students who don't show up for this orientation or do not register with the publisher within 24 hours. By that, I mean MOM, my open math, or miss the first assignment, any of the assignments, or the exams will be dropped as no-show. There is more information about OSS, financial aid, and so on and so forth. The thing which is also important for everybody to know is the office hours. I have put this on the home page. I'll show you again. All you have to do, click on the link and join our office hours, which takes place on Saturdays from 9 to 11, in case you have any questions. Then we also have a syllabus addendum. I'm not going to spend too much time on that. It's again about course description and student outline and more policies, attending policy, financial aid, so on and so forth. I highly recommend you spend a couple of minutes reading in case you have a question. And this is always available to you. You don't have to print that. So going back to the homepage class, we went over the syllabus. The next one is the modules. I'm going to spend a couple of minutes on the modules. Either you click on the module on the left side or right here. So what do we find under the modules? The very first thing you find, it says My Open Math, access to your homework and all your online assignments, exams, you name it. Everything is here. And I'm going to go over that at the end when I show you how to do your homework. Pay attention to the fact you do not need a course ID simply because you come to this page, which is modules. You click on this and it will allow you to register. I will show you in a moment. What else can you find here? Exam 1 module. I'll go back to that. Exam 2, exam 3, exam 4, exam 5 modules. So there are 5 modules here. At the end, pay attention to this. You get more stuff such as formulas, elementary statistics formulas, tables, and information about TI 83, 84 calculators and their commands. So let me quickly show you under elementary statistics formulas. You have the formula sheet. This formula sheet can be used during any of your exams. So that's one. You also have the tables. You can use it during the exam, although nowadays you can also use technology. It's not that big of a deal. So we have those. And finally, at the bottom, the last module, we also have information about TI, 83 and 84, and those are the commands and how you use them. I have set them up for you. So that makes life easy when you want to use a calculator. Although I expect you to show work properly, as you will see when you watch my PowerPoints and other stuff that are posted. So going back, so at the bottom, that's what you have. But for now, I want to concentrate on only module one because exam one is coming up pretty soon. So exam one module or module one. The very first thing you see is practice test. This is the only thing you print. Why do I want you to print and read this and get, and this is what we are going to cover during the review session, because I want you to see what is being covered for the first exam. The first exam in module one covers chapters 1, 2, 3. So we have some questions for chapter 1. Chapter 2. Chapter 3. All you have to do for now, print and read this for about 5 minutes. It won't take more than 5 minutes of your time. Why is that important? Because you need to know what's coming your way. And after that, when we go through the PowerPoints and the homework in my open math, then we have a chance to do those questions one by one. We do a couple of them at the time. But before I'll show you the PowerPoints and everything, again, I want you to see you have this stat practice test. And at the bottom of the module one, you see the solution. So not only I'm giving you the practice test, I'm also giving you the solution. Please do not go over the solution until you work on this on your own, because otherwise it defeats the purpose of learning. Now, every question has been done with details, and it is extremely important that you learn how to do math properly to get full credit. So not only I have the practice test for you, I also have the solution to it with details. So what do you do in the meantime? You have a couple of ways of learning the course. You can start with my PowerPoints. Take a look at this one. It says chapter 1. If I click on that, brings us here. Chapter 1 has a few sections. If I click on the first one, this shows up. You can even download and put it in slide mode. If you put it in slide mode or slideshow, they call it, you can see the work step by step, including the examples that have been done step by step for you. Everything has been done step by step. That's why I said you may not even need the text, because I have done everything for you here in the PowerPoints. Going back to the modules. So this is chapter 1, then we have chapter 2, then we have chapter 3. My recommendation is none of the chapters are really huge. They have only a few sections. You stick with the chapter and you finish it, and then you go do your homework. So going back to the home page, under the modules, you print the practice test, you watch the PowerPoints, you can solve the practice test as you go through the PowerPoints gradually, or as you go through the PowerPoints gradually, as well as the homework. So I want to discuss the homework, which is in my open math. So you have to do your homework before the deadline under the assignment homework. So I'm going to show you it's in the same spot that I said under the modules, but I like to finish the rest of it. I come back to that. So let me go back to the home page. What I want to finish is this one, the practice test solution that was mentioned here. The practice test solution can be found under the same spot, modules. I highly recommend you look at it after you've gone through the work yourself. Then we have the discussion forum and then the exams. So I'm leaving the homework for the last because I want to show you how to deal with my open math. So the next step is the discussion forum. So what is the discussion forum? If you click on this link or on the left side here, discussion here, it comes up. So what do we have here? First, we have the frequently asked questions. I highly recommend you go over that. How to use a math palette. You have a math palette with your discussion. Course ID, there is no need for a course ID because you are going to register through Canvas. I will show you. Text, no, it's online, technical support. So some of the questions that have come up in the past, I put them here. Please read it. It takes a minute of your time. And if you have more questions, you can put it here. I'll answer it and I add it to the frequently asked questions. Student bios, I put mine. And as you can see, some students have already put theirs. But I'm just giving you an example. I highly recommend you do that so you get to know your fellow students here and see what what brings them here. And if you want to write something about yourself, do that. Please, if you want to comment on anyone's bio with utmost respect, that'd be highly recommended and appreciated. If you want to encourage someone as you read their bios and you see what they're doing, please do so. But as I mentioned, we are all adults and it's just with respect. Now, they don't give us any points. I want you to know that. And also at the end, I want to go over that. That is, also the one that doesn't give us any points. This is student to student classroom interaction. I encourage you to work together and answer each other in constructive and respectful manner. You can have an in-depth conversation as well as any Q&A pertaining to our class. I will not monitor this discussion board except to make sure all is proper and respectful. So what are others? Now this DB module 1, module 2, 3, 4, 5, these are the ones that you receive credit for. So what do we have to do? Let's start with the first one. You are required to post at least one question and its solution, either from practice test number 1 posted under the modules or any source of your choice. So all I'm asking, put one question here and comment on one of your fellow students. How do we do that? Take a look at the instruction. Is very clear. Read all the posts, questions, and solutions posted by others first and pick a different question to post. No duplication is allowed. A question with one word solution, one line solution or definition is not acceptable and results in 0 points. That gives you 10 points. So all I'm saying, read previous posts. By the way, if you happen to be the first one to post, you may have to wait for others. But on a daily basis, all I want you to do is 2 to 5 minutes of your time to read others post things. And I promise you, if you read their posts, it will help you learn more. I guarantee you that. Number 2, show all steps using the math equation editor, the above math palette that was mentioned. Find a similar problem online on YouTube or Khan Academy. That results in 5 points. Finally, comment, explain at least one classmate question that is either solved or is found online and posted by watching it carefully in its entirety. Explain about what the question addressed and what you learned from it and outline a few steps you learned. As a result, a compliment is nice, but it is not a comment. I'm giving you an example. Look at my question. I put the question. I put the solution with mathematical formulas with details. Then I pick a similar question, find on YouTube. And then I'm commenting on somebody, supposedly. So I hope you see I have outlined not only the steps and the points 10, 5, 5. I'm giving you a sample example. And also how to embed an image in Canvas. There is a recording here and also how to use the math editor. So a quick recap. All you have to do, one question for a discussion forum, which will result in 20 points. You write a question with a detailed solution. You make sure it's not a duplicate. You find a similar question on YouTube and you post it, and then you comment / explain somebody's work. Compliment is not considered just explanation. So don't mix them up. Going back to the homepage. So we did the discussion forum now, and there are 5 of them. 5 times 20 gives you 100 points. Those are easy points, class. Then next, this is optional, the sample test solution. This one, you really don't have to worry about it because I put everything for you here. But in case, if something goes wrong and you don't have access to Canvas, you want to make a note of it. And over here, most everything that you find on Canvas, prepare for test 1, for example, means module 1. We have various stuff here, videos, you name it. If you don't have access to Canvas, that would be helpful. Otherwise, you really don't need that. By the way, we do also have this LACC student support services. If you want to look at the services that they offer you, I put the tab here, the link here, so please pay attention. Finally, you got to take the exam. Also attend student office hours. As I mentioned, we have the URL here from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. every Saturday. On the week of exam, we will have the review session using the same URL. What I want to go over now, going back to the modules and discuss the homework. So the very first thing that you are going to notice is that if you click on the homework, it brings you here. Take a look at what happens here. If I click on this, doesn't ask me for course ID. It doesn't ask me for anything except if you have an account with MyOpenMath already, it asks you for username and password. If you don't, you just register. And by now, everybody knows how to register. So I can't emphasize this enough. You do not need a course ID. You just go to module, and the very first one, you click on it and you register. When you create an account, then it will take you there afterwards. So what I'm going to do, I am going to go to my OpenMath. As I mentioned, under the modules, if I click on it, it takes me there. So what I'm going to do, I like to discuss my OpenMath with you here. So all your assignments take place here. Look at the very first one that I put up here, mandatory assignment, introduction to my OpenMath. This is the one that teaches you how to enter information so that you won't have any problem with my OpenMath. It's just a few. It doesn't take, I don't think it takes more than 10 or 15 minutes of your time, maybe 20 minutes of your time. But it will help you with just about everything as far as my OpenMath is concerned. You get comfortable and familiar with that. Here's a simple example. Enter the number. Notice the moment I click on it, the math palette opens up in case I need to use a fraction or a square root and you name it. So I'm going to put the number they have here, 58 0.7392. So I submit the question. Notice it check marks and says, okay, you've done it right. I'm not going to continue on this. It's very basic class. The next one, enter the number rounded to the nearest hundreds and so forth. So you answer all these questions and you get familiar with that. And when you're done, if I click done, notice what happens. It shows that question one, I just did one part out of 3 and the other ones are not attempted. So what do? I can resume, I can go back and finish the work. By the way, you don't have to finish the work in one sitting because I've set it up that you can do it as many times as you want and as long as it takes you, it doesn't matter. Or I can exit and come back to do this. This is due almost immediately. It's I'm still giving you a few days. It's due on 9/4, so in a few days it's due. Please do this immediately. Students who do not do this assignment will be dropped immediately from the class. The next one is exams. I don't want you to worry about that at all yet because we are not there. When the time comes, just open it up, see the exams, and all you have to click on it and start. Every exam is password protected. Therefore, you can wait until I send you the password. When the week of exam comes, you receive an email from me and you can start it anytime you want until the day that we actually have to do it on Saturday. You can even do it before that. Now, welcome to stats. Course description is here. When we go down, here's what I want you to pay attention to. As far as the calendar, you can open it up with 4 or more. 4 is the norm. You can do as many weeks as you want. Take a look. If you look at the very first week, this is the homework which is due the first week. And then everything else, all the homework, they're all due the day before the first exam. What does it mean? Do I have to wait until then to do the exam? Absolutely not. If you wait until this day, you will be behind. Please do 1 homework per day. The reason I didn't put a due date on a daily basis or every couple of days, because there are students who may get a chance to do everything in one shot during the weekends or whatever works for them. So I wanted them to have a chance to do it in a timely manner. Please do your homework on a daily basis. All you have to do 1 or 2 per day. Now, what comes afterwards? Take a look at module 0. Module 0 basically is just resources. What resources? First, the textbook. And again, this is a reference text. The order by which this text works is not necessarily the same as the PowerPoints and the homework that I've given you. Everything is in that textbook, but not in the same order. You can click on that. You can get the PDF file, you name it. I'm not going to, spend too much time on this, but please understand that they have the table of contents. You can click on a specific section and read and study, or just stick with my PowerPoints, as I said, and take it from there. So the very first resource then is the textbooks. The next one, late pass, calendar, gradebook, reviewing your exam, so on and so forth. How do you use a late pass? There is a short video. I'm going to move on with that. I'm going to give you a chance to watch that. I hope you don't have to use a late pass, but again, I want to make sure everybody understands what's happening. Everybody gets a few late passes in case you missed any of the homework assignments. That's not the case with this introduction assignment. That is not the case. There is no late pass for that. So how to use a late pass? Calendar, my open math gradebook. One of the things I want to explain, again, all of them, you can watch those videos. Those are short videos. When you look at your grade, please understand, in the gradebook, you see under the past due, there is a grade, and then past due and attempted. This past due grade is not going to be the same as this one unless the course is over, because This is your grade for the past too, but there are things that haven't been attempted or have been attempted, and therefore there's a slight difference between the two. Your grade at any given time is this one, the past two. The other thing, to review any of your assignments, pay attention to this because this question comes up from the students. It's explained here. If you want to review an assignment which is past due, whether it's a homework or exam, you go to the gradebook, you see the grades, they are in blue. If you click on them, you can review your assignment. Also, the next one, there is a help how to answer in MOM. It's pretty similar to the first assignment, but it's a PDF file. Flowcharts and formula sheets. I told you where to find the formula sheets in Canvas. There are also some formula sheets here, and you choose the ones that are easier for you to follow, but pretty much they're the same. So we have the formula sheets as well as the tables here, as well as in MOM. Multimedia library, we have some more videos here. And because they are not by the instructor, sometimes the links may be broken. If there is a broken link, please report it to me and I immediately try to fix it, or if we have to get rid of it. So we are still under module 0. Look at all this stuff, free online calculators. I truly believe in free education. So these are different websites where you can find free online calculators. I hope you play with them and see which one works the best for you. This is also using a TI calculator emulator. See, I have one here. I promise you, you have to play with it a little bit until you make it work. But when it works, it's really nice. And again, it's completely free. So animated flowcharts, how to use a TI calculator for problems, and so on and so forth. I hope you also can find this under the module TI calculator. I put it there. I hope you can download and emulate it. You may be able to get help from campus tech support for that. Now there are more videos about mean and standard deviation, how you do that for TI-84, how do you do that for Excel. So there are a lot of resources under module 0. I highly recommend you spend a few minutes on that, and you'll be very happy because you find a lot of free stuff. And I'm hoping my students, they don't even have to pay a penny for anything, including calculators. Then what happens, starting with module 1. So module 0, it's all resources. Module 1, introduction to statistics, exploring data, describing and exploring and comparing it. So chapter 1, so let me actually close this, close this, close this. So when you start, this is closed, open it up, chapter 1, open it up, section 1.1, open it up. Notice what we have: instructors, video lectures, multimedia library, chapter 1 playlist, statistics lectures, statistics study state. You have so many videos, and that's why I said between the videos here and my PowerPoints, you may not need even to open the textbook. It is absolutely up to you. And then we have even more videos: introduction to statistical and critical thinking, ways statistics are misused. I hope you see how much videos are put together for you. Now, one of the things is you may not have to go through all of that, and some of them will do the job. Just for the sake of argument, if you click on that, it comes up, and this is available to you. You can go through my videos, chapter 1 playlist. It's okay, I better fix that, and so on and so forth. But After you go to through the videos and the PowerPoints, what do? You start with the homework. So look at this homework. So if you want to do this homework, let me put that in student mode. So you click on the first homework. Again, when do you do that? After you're done with the PowerPoint and the videos, or maybe the PowerPoint's good enough for you. By the way, some of these homeworks, okay, you get started. Some of these homeworks, for example, right here, video 1, video 2. Video. Some of them have the video. So you start the question and you answer it. And if you click done, it gives you a chance to go back and forth as I showed you before. So which source of bias is most relevant to the following situation? A research study funded by a shoe polish company found that scuffed shoes were the #1 reason to not hire a job applicant. Is this a self-interest study? This is a self-interest study. Again, I highly recommend, if you have already watched the videos, you know what to do. If you haven't, just watch those videos before you answer. And you can continue with the next question and the next question and next question, or you may say, I'm done. It shows you did question 1, but you have unattempted questions. And therefore now you have a choice. You can resume or you can exit. If you exit, you can come back and do this anytime class before the due date. So you don't have to finish the work in one sitting. And that's the idea behind doing the work in mod. So what I like to do is to go back and recap what we need to do. #1, there is a welcome message. #2, the philosophy, class philosophy. #3, the announcements. The idea behind the announcements were for those students who wanted to go through that and not be here for the orientation, basically. #4, we went over the syllabus. As I said, you can find it right here or in the navigation bar. I highly recommend you go back and read the syllabus because this may have been a little bit too fast. Under the modules is what you can find everything. So I'm going to quickly show you what you can find. #1, you can register with MOM. Please understand, you do not need a course ID because all you have to do, click on this and register. #2, you find the modules, module 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And in the case of each module, we have the practice test, we have the PowerPoints, and we have the solution to the practice test. In many cases, the practice test questions will be answered by watching all of those PowerPoints. But you have to consult the solution just to be on the safe side because you want to see how we answer it. In the meantime, as you go through each PowerPoint, you also go through my open math and the homework in the same time. You don't want to watch all the PowerPoints and do the homework in one shot because it may be that it'd be too late. You don't want to take a chance. So for now, we are just concerned with the first exam. And at the bottom, you find formula sheets, tables, and TI-83 calculator information about that. But I also want to show you, again, I want to emphasize this. When you go through that on this page, I have the information about this calculator class. I'm going to show you the calculator again. This calculator basically can be downloaded online. You have to go through the process, and if you have a problem, you really have to contact the tech support. They should be able to help you. So going back to the home page, under the modules, we can find everything. We will find the PowerPoints, practice test, homework in my Open Math, and the discussion forum has frequently asked questions, student bios, student-to-student classroom interaction, and there are 5 discussion forums, 1 per practice test. Each one is worth 20 points. You read and follow the instruction to be on the safe side. So if you stick with the program and follow the steps that are outlined here, you'll be more than ready to get on with the exam on the day of the exam, and during the office hours on the day of the exam from 9 to 11, we will have the exam review. After that, I'll be available from 11 to 1 in case anybody has any questions, and you may take the exam anytime on that day. I wish you all best of luck.